you, essential workers. Keep me safe. Love you. Love you.
Thank you, doctors and nurses, for risking your lives to help people who are sick.
Thank you, store workers, for keeping the stores open.
And I'm thankful for the doctors and nurses making everyone feel better.
What a great message to our healthcare professionals, delivery people, even grocery store workers as well. That video from the March of Dimes organization showing their superheroes giving thanks to some other heroes right now, the men and women on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. Like other nonprofits, the March of Dimes organization is having to navigate a difficult time due to the pandemic. But they are adapting and turning one of the largest fundraisers now into a virtual march. We're pleased to have joining us this morning as March of Dimes President and CEO STACEY Stewart. Thanks for talking to us this morning. Let's get into this here. Talk about the March for Babies Step Up virtual fundraiser. How did you have to kind of rethink this annual event in the midst of this ongoing pandemic and all the restrictions on large gatherings?
Well, thank you for having me. The March of Dimes is the largest organization and the leading organization fighting for the health of all moms and babies. And for 50 years, we've had our March for Babies walks. But as you just mentioned, this year is quite different because we're not able to have walks outside and big public gatherings the way we've always had them. So we've had to adjust, and we've done that pretty quickly by turning our physical walks into virtual walks. So we're still inviting all of our families that support us, all of our donors, and everyone to become a part of our Step Up March for Babies Challenge and to do everything that we would ordinarily do on the day of the walk, but do it now by downloading the Charity Miles app. If you're getting your walks in, if you're going outside for walks with your masks on, or you're inside doing TikTok dances, whatever you're doing, you can still be making all those steps count, not only for your health and your sanity during this pandemic, but also helping to raise money for moms and babies who really need our help now more than ever.
So he says a virtual walk, but you're saying people can still actually go out and physically walk the distance they normally would?
So when you download the Charity Miles app, and you can get this by going to marchforbabies.org, what you'll see is that for every step you take, you can actually be getting pledges, and that money will go to the March of Dimes. So yes, we can still go out with our masks and go for a walk as long as we're maintaining our social distancing. Or if you just stay in the house and you're, just working around the house or whatever you're doing, every step you take can now go and help raise money for moms and babies. And it's really important right now because, while a lot of things we can delay softball games, we can delay baseball games, but one of the things we cannot delay right now is if a woman is pregnant today, she will be giving birth. And the stress and the anxiety and all of the things that families have to think about now, delivering a baby in the midst of a pandemic is adding incredible stress to these women. And one of the things that we do at the March of Dimes is make sure that women and families have the information that they need to know how to protect their babies. We've been virtualizing all of our programs, all of our group prenatal care programs, and our NICU family support programs, supporting those families in the NICU. So we're trying right now to make sure that all of the work we're doing right now to help these moms and babies can continue. And that only happens with the support of the public. So when people go to marchforbabies.org, they can download the app, they can take walks and take steps to raise money for moms and babies, and all of that virtual support is just as important, and it's even more important now than ever.
Let's talk about this because it's important every year, but now during this ongoing pandemic, it probably has more significance making sure that moms and babies are taken care of during this pandemic.
Absolutely. When we talk about those individuals who are very vulnerable during this time, of course, we talk about the elderly and the immunocompromised, but also we have to remember that pregnant women can also be quite vulnerable as well. While we don't know everything about how the virus impacts pregnant women, we do know that, for example, if a woman's temperature is elevated during pregnancy, that sometimes can complicate birth outcomes. We have had instances in which babies have maybe contracted the virus, maybe after childbirth. So one of the things we need to make sure is that women have the information they need in order to know how to keep themselves safe and healthy so that not only they can be healthy, but their children and their babies can be as well. So that requires a lot of work on our part, the March of Dimes, and that's why during this pandemic, if you can just imagine what it must be like for a woman who's pregnant today, having to deliver, go into a hospital right now, it's really stressful, and the March of Dimes is there for these women and these families every day, and including and especially now during this pandemic.
Well, Stacey, you have about 20 seconds left now. How else can people get involved if they cannot walk physically? Can they still support your organization?
Well, certainly you can go to our marchofdimes.org website. There are plenty of volunteer opportunities. If you want to do masks, make masks for healthcare workers. It's really important. But certainly any dollar is important. So go to marchforbabies.org and sign up. Thank you.
Great information. That is STACEY Stewart, the president and CEO of March for Dimes. Thanks for joining us this morning. Again, March of Dimes virtual walk coming up on May 15th, and please support this great organization. We're back with more after this.